just got back from watching GOAT, and I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler-free take on it. This is a movie about a little goat who wants to go play in the big leagues called Roarball, basically the NBA, but the nature, wild animal edition. And let me just say, that league is awesome, and I need to see that in person, live, because what the heck, I would have been entertained 24/7. It's like slam ball meets rugby meets wild animals, but it was awesome, and I loved watching it. The animation was nuts. The choreography of different basketball moves that people were doing, whether it was a crossover, whether it was somebody getting dunked on, or even just moving the ball and passing it, with the physics that they were doing with animation. Obviously, this is Sony Pictures animation, and they've been killing it lately, aka K-Pop Demon Hunters, aka Spider-Man Into and Across the Spider-Verse, aka Mitchell's versus the Machines on Netflix, but I should have expected them to kill it because their animation is nuts. But this movie does kill it with the physics and the movement and just the color and the animation of certain things. Like, I was mind blown. I want to give a huge shout out to Steph and Curry. Thank you for producing this, because this was really nice to watch as a basketball fan. Like, there were so many references in this. There was a lot of basketball references that I instantly got. I don't know if the crowd's gonna get it, especially since a lot of the Under Armour shoes that were shown in the movie were Stephen Curry's shoes. The shoes, the way they told the story of his shoes in the story was honestly pretty nice and a little bit heartwarming sometimes. Like, they didn't specifically say they were Stephen Curry's shoes, obviously. Like, they made it something different, but it was cool to see those shoes, because I remember as a kid, like, seeing for the first time when Curry first got his shoes, like seeing that first shoe come out and thinking it was pretty cool. So that was honestly a nostalgia moment for me. The movie was pretty well done, especially since it was geared towards kids. We've seen the Mitchells versus Machines, Spider-Man Into and Across the Spider-Verse, and we saw K-Pop Demon Hunters, and those touch on really like deep, not just deep topics, but just really get emotional, like super emotional. This one, on the other hand, it's not as emotional, but it's emotional if you're an athlete or a sports fan. Like, this can still speak to a lot of kids who feel like they're too small for something, but it doesn't matter as long as you're like good enough. You can do it. Like, this speaks to those type of kids. This speaks to the kid that was getting bullied on the playground because there was a bigger kid doing it to him. This speaks to the kid that wants to play on the team, but coach tells him he's too small. This speaks to the kid that just doesn't feel like he's big enough in this big world we have. But it was nice. It kept it standard. I know it was a basketball movie, but it was definitely a movie that somebody who doesn't know a thing about basketball can watch and still like it. And I like that. I also like, there were a couple references that, Curry, you ain't slick. I know what you're doing. Don't come after my Lakers like that. I'm playing around, but there's a lot of references in the movie, especially with some of the certain characters. I'm not going to spoil it here. If you're an NBA fan, you're gonna probably know what some of these animals that are on the team that Will, aka the GOAT, is playing on. You're probably gonna know who these certain players are. I thought that was a nice touch, though. I thought it was funny. I was the only person in the theater who was like, oh, I know who that player probably is, but I was having fun with it. But one thing that really shook me, and I'm not gonna take this as a spoiler because this is like, it's a casting. Like, if you guys kill me for spoiling a casting, sue me. But I was thinking the whole time when I'm watching this movie, Stephen Curry has to be in this movie. And I was thinking maybe he's playing Will Harris. No, it isn't. Obviously, it's Caleb McLaughlin. We already heard that from a while ago, that Caleb McLaughlin was voicing the GOAT, even though I wish Stephen Curry just did it. But Stephen Curry was in the movie. And you know, out of all the characters, Stephen Curry voices Lenny Williamson, the giraffe. And I went, I knew it. I knew it. I heard his voice and I was like, that's gotta be Stephen Curry. But honestly, it was a nice touch, and I really thought that was really cool. But this was a pretty good movie. It did exactly what it needed to do. It wasn't as deep as the first movies I mentioned, but still a good movie. Still a good basketball movie, and that's my official rating for it. I'm gonna be a little biased here and give it an 8 out of 10. I was feeling a 7, but I really loved the basketball and the story it was trying to tell, and based off that, I gotta give it an 8 out of 10. That's my review. If you guys want more, especially on the spoiler side, we got an episode coming out soon this week on Friday, and you guys better make sure to tune in, because you need to like, subscribe, and follow PhilmPod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure that bell as well. For all my audio listeners, we got a Spotify account. You guys want to listen to us, link down below. Anyways, I'm your man Film. Make sure to be on the lookout for my next spoiler-free review. Make sure to stay safe, take it easy, and peace, y'all.